Breakups are often painted as dramatic finales, emotional, messy, and final. We see it in movies, hear it in music, and experience it in real life. The end of a romantic relationship is usually treated as a complete severance. Two people, once intertwined emotionally, physically, and sometimes spiritually, are expected to go their separate ways. And yet, there's one question that always lingers: can exes actually be friends? Before we dive deep, let me know in the comments, have you ever stayed friends with an ex? Did it go well, or was it a disaster? I'd love to hear your perspective. This question has no easy answer, and that's part of what makes it so compelling. On one hand, friendship with an ex can feel mature, healthy, and emotionally evolved. On the other, it can seem confusing, painful, or even toxic. Let's break this down, slowly, carefully, and from multiple angles. The emotional aftermath of a breakup. After a relationship ends, the emotional landscape is often raw and unstable. No matter how the relationship ended, whether it was mutual, one-sided, sudden, or gradual, there's typically an adjustment period. During this time, emotions can run high. Hurt, anger, confusion, sadness, relief, they all come into play, and they can cloud judgment and complicate interactions. This is why jumping straight into a friendship after a breakup often doesn't work. It's not necessarily that being friends is impossible, but rather, timing is everything. If you're still emotionally tangled up in the relationship, trying to transition into a platonic friendship can end up being more damaging than helpful. If you're still with me, go ahead and hit that like button. It helps more people find this kind of reflective content. Why do people want to stay friends with their ex? There are several reasons people feel compelled to stay friends with someone they once loved. Some people simply don't like the idea of losing someone important from their lives. Even if the romance didn't work out, they still value the connection, the shared history, and the emotional bond. They believe that friendship is a way to preserve what was good in the relationship without the pressure of romantic commitment. Others feel guilty, especially if they were the one to initiate the breakup. They may want to soften the blow by offering friendship as a consolation. Unfortunately, that doesn't always come across as intended and can actually prolong emotional pain for both people involved. Then there are people who keep their exes around out of hope that things might one day rekindle. This is a tricky and often unhealthy place to be. If either party is secretly harboring feelings, the so-called friendship can become a breeding ground for false expectations and emotional confusion. If this resonates with you, consider sharing this video with someone who might be navigating the same situation. You never know who might need to hear it. When can exes be friends successfully? Believe it or not, there are situations where exes can be genuine, healthy friends. But there are usually some common factors present. 1. Emotional detachment from the romance. Both individuals must have moved on emotionally. That means no lingering romantic feelings, no jealousy, no hidden agenda. The love may still exist in a platonic sense, but the romantic chapter has been fully closed. 2. Clear boundaries. Without boundaries, things can get messy quickly. If you're still cuddling, flirting, or being emotionally dependent on each other, that's not friendship. That's an undefined relationship that can hurt both parties. Healthy ex-friendships have clear limits. 3. Time and space after the breakup. Jumping into a friendship too quickly rarely works. Most successful ex-friendships happen after a significant period of no contact. Time allows wounds to heal, emotions to stabilize, and a new kind of connection to form. 4. Mutual respect. There has to be respect for each other's boundaries, healing process, and future relationships. If either person disrespects the other's growth or romantic life after the breakup, it's going to create friction. 5. No underlying motives. The friendship should exist for its own sake, not as a stepping stone to something else. If either person is hoping for a rekindled romance, it's not a true friendship, it's an emotional waiting game. And hey, if you find content like this helpful and want to see more deep dives into relationships, growth, and emotional wellness, don't forget to subscribe. It really helps the channel grow, and you won't miss any future videos. When it doesn't work, not all friendships with exes are healthy. In fact, many of them are not. Some can be emotionally manipulative, codependent, or simply confusing. Here are a few red flags. You feel worse after spending time with them. If the interactions leave you feeling sad, anxious, or emotionally drained, it's not a healthy friendship. They interfere with your ability to move on. Maybe you're dating someone new, but you're constantly thinking about your ex. Or worse, your ex seems to insert themselves into your new relationship dynamic. There's a pattern of breaking up and getting back together. This isn't friendship. It's an emotional roller coaster that often prevents both people from healing or growing. One person is doing all the emotional labor. If one person is leaning on the other for support during tough times, especially when it's not reciprocated, it can create an imbalance that resembles the emotional dynamics of the past romantic relationship. What do you think? Is it worth the risk? Drop a comment with your thoughts. I read them all, and I love hearing your stories and takes. The role of maturity and personal growth. The ability to maintain a healthy friendship with an ex often depends on personal maturity. Some people grow after a breakup. They reflect, heal, and evolve. Others might remain stuck in old patterns. It's important to be honest with yourself about where you are emotionally. Are you truly ready to see your ex as just a friend? Can you handle the idea of them being with someone else? Can you maintain the friendship without slipping into old habits? If the answer to any of these questions is no, it might be a sign that friendship isn't the right path, at least not yet. If you've been in a similar situation, go ahead and comment below with what helped you move forward, or what you wish you had done differently. What about staying acquaintances or civil? Not all post-breakup connections need to be full-on friendships. Sometimes, just being civil is enough. This is especially important if you share a social circle, workplace, or co-parenting duties. Being acquaintances doesn't mean pretending the relationship never happened. It simply means recognizing that you were once close, and now you're not, but you still choose to treat each other with kindness and respect. How new partners feel about ex-friendships. This is a topic that often gets overlooked. Even if you and your ex are genuinely just friends, your new partner may not feel comfortable with it, and that's valid. Transparency is key here. You shouldn't have to erase your past, but you do need to be respectful of your current partner's feelings. If staying friends with an ex causes strain in your new relationship, it's worth reassessing your priorities and the role your ex plays in your life now. If your current partner sets healthy boundaries and communicates concerns, it's important to listen and evaluate honestly, without immediately labeling the discomfort as insecurity. Different types of exes. Not all exes are the same. Some were toxic. Some were your best friend. Some left you heartbroken. Others were more like a passing phase. The potential for friendship after a breakup can depend on the nature of the relationship itself. Toxic or abusive ex. No contact is usually the best policy. Mutual, respectful breakup. There may be a pathway to friendship, with time. Long-term relationship with shared experiences. Could be more complex, but possible. Short fling that fizzled out. Friendship may be more feasible due to a lack of deep emotional entanglement. Understanding the type of relationship you had helps clarify what kind of connection, if any, can remain. The bottom line: so, can exes be friends? Yes, no, maybe. It depends. There's no universal rule here. Some people do it and thrive. Others try and end up hurting even more. The key is honesty, with yourself and with the other person. Examine your intentions. Know your emotional limits. Understand that wanting to be friends doesn't make you weak, and choosing to walk away doesn't make you cold-hearted. The goal after a breakup is healing, growth, and peace, whether that includes friendship or not. Sometimes, the most loving thing you can do for someone you once cared deeply about is let them go. If this video made you think, drop a like, leave a comment, and share it with a friend who might be going through something similar. And if you're into real talk about love, relationships, and emotional growth, go ahead and subscribe. More conversations like this are coming your way soon.